Good evening, you're with the Urban Debate here with us this weekend. I'm Sahar Zaman. Today is day 17 of the farmers' agitation, the Delhi Chalo agitation, the protest that continues at Delhi borders. Nothing much has changed between the protesting farmers and the central government, but what is changing day after day is the scale and the intensity of the protest. Tomorrow there is going to be yet another massive blockade, one that they had planned for today. But farmers who are travelling from other states still en route, they could reach late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and this is what is going to happen on ground for the national capital. Remember, we already have two borders, Singhu and Tikri, which are entirely blocked, entirely sealed. There are another two borders which are partially sealed. And tomorrow, there will be another two added to that list, a total of 6 then. The farmers are threatening that this agitation will intensify further, with the Jaipur border and the Agra border on the other side being sealed as well. And this time, participating farmers coming in from Rajasthan, Uttar Pradesh, other states here as well, not just Punjab. The Prime Minister Modi, once again having spoken out, reaching out to farmers, listing out the benefits, assurances of increased income, more diversity as far as reaching out to newer markets to sell their produce, all of that, but to no avail. It has only further angered the farmers on that one single standalone demand to repeal the laws. We're looking at how this is further building up on ground. And let's throw this open to our panelists tonight. Mr. Sudesh Verma of the BJP, spokesperson of the BJP, Pushpendra Singh, president of the Kisan Shakti Sangh, as well as Pallavi Sharma, spokesperson of the Congress. Many thanks, all of you, for being with us here this evening. First to you, Mr. Sudesh Verma, here on how the central government here continues to look at it, but increasingly with certain alliance partners of the BJP, of the NDA here as well, now speaking out in favor of the farmers. And Sudesh, I'm asking very specifically here on what has happened with the Deputy Chief Minister of Haryana, who's part of the BJP-ruled alliance state government there, making it very clear that the state government of Haryana stands by with the MSP. That will be assured. And there will be talks along those lines in the coming few days by the central government here as well. Help us understand what this means. Is this an indication that MSP can possibly now become a state subject?
You see, government has already clarified that, to accommodate the concerns of agitating farmers, there can be a written undertaking given to them that yes, the government will be committed to buy at the MSP price. That is not a problem. You see, most of the concerns expressed by agitating farmers have been addressed and the government is ready to talk to them. But the issue is that in any such agitation or any time in society, if you take too much rigid position, that you ask the laws to be repealed, then you have to say why you want it to be repealed. We are ready to address the concerns of farmers on every point, point by point we are ready to discuss and address. And let it, allow it to roll out and see the impact of it, because that is one way to empower farmers. The government is not gaining, the farmers will gain and then the country will gain, isn't it? The government has no ulterior motive in this. It's not some personal agenda that is driving the government, you understand that. So the farmers should also understand that most of their concerns have been addressed, the government is ready to address them. So there's no point agitating, and we hope that when you talk to the government, you will understand the Prime Minister, Mr. Narendra Modi, has clarified so many times, and you know that Prime Minister's interest, primemost, is that of the farmers. No government in this country can alienate farmers, But at the same time, it is on farmers also, agitating farmers, that they should not become a tool for political parties, because they have not been able to, agitate on this scale, and they will try to ride the shoulders of agitating farmers. They would not allow them to reach a compromise, reach a negotiation, which the government is ready. So in these parameters, we should be seeing this agitation, and we hope that good sense will prevail. Finally, in history, you see, people have to reach a compromise. You cannot be rigid. If you are rigid, then society will reject you. People will not appreciate your concerns. Till now, you are getting all support of people.
Pushpendra Singh, please respond here, क्योंकि किसानों पे आरोप ये है कि गवर्नमेंट ने बहुत बार बातचीत की है, रिटन एश्योरेंस भी दिया दैट एमएसपी विल नॉट बी स्ट्रक ऑफ, तब भी किसान नहीं मान रहे। ये जो दिल्ली को एंटायरली ब्लॉक और सील करने का थ्रेट है, इट इज नॉट गोइंग डाउन वेल विद पीपल। किसान इस बात पे अड़ गए हैं डिस्पाइट एश्योरेंसेस। अगर रिटन एश्योरेंस भी सरकार देती है एमएसपी पे, वो दे चुकी है कि अलग से एश्योरेंस, रिटन एश्योरेंस आएगी, तब भी किसान नहीं माने।
देखिए सहर जी, मेन मुद्दा क्या है? दो अलग अलग व्यवस्थाएं हैं। पहली जो व्यवस्था चल रही थी, एग्जिस्टिंग एपीएमसी एक्ट की मंडी व्यवस्था चल रही थी, उसके अंदर एमएसपी की व्यवस्था थी, एमएसपी मिलता था। अब इन्होंने कहा है कि हमने उस व्यवस्था के बाहर भी सेकंड एक दूसरी व्यवस्था लागू की है प्राइवेट सेक्टर की, जिसमें आप बेचने के लिए आप स्वतंत्र हैं। हमने इनका धन्यवाद दिया, हमने कहा कि ठीक है आपने रिफॉर्म्स किए, हम रिफॉर्म से जो है डर नहीं रहे हैं, कोई बात नहीं। लेकिन हम जिस प्रकार से पहली व्यवस्था एमएसपी की व्यवस्था मंडी के अंदर लागू थी, उसी तरीके से जो है बाहर जो मंडी के बाहर खरीदने बेचने की बात कर रहे हैं आप, वहां प्राइवेट सेक्टर मोस्टली खरीदेगा, उसमें भी आप एमएसपी लगा दीजिए। ये मेन कंसर्न है। यही 100 में से 80 नंबर का क्वेश्चन है। ये कह रहे हैं हम छोटे छोटे क्वेश्चन कर देंगे, लेकिन जब तक आप मेन क्वेश्चन को टैकल नहीं करेंगे, ये आंदोलन, सुदेश वर्मा जी अच्छी तरह समझ रहे हैं कि ये बढ़ता जाएगा। और बीजेपी को या वर्मा जी, आपको प्राइवेट सेक्टर के ऊपर भी एमएसपी की सिक्योरिटी देने में किसानों को क्या आपत्ति है, ये आप मुझे बता दीजिए।
मैं जवाब दूं इसका? सर आप
जी
देखिए,
पुष्पेंद्र सिंह जी, ये जो दबाव आप सरकार पे डाल, सुदेश आई कम बैक टू यू, यस इन जस्ट अ बिट। पुष्पेंद्र सिंह जी, ये जो दबाव आप सरकार पे डाल रहे हैं कि और बॉर्डर्स सील हो जाएंगे, अभी तक इतने दिन गुजर गए, हम सारे व्यवस्थाओं के बारे में डिस्कशन रोज बहुत डिटेल में कर रहे हैं हर रात को, but at the end of the day, the big takeaway is that the government has had talks. It has promised to give in certain assurances in writing, separate from the farm laws here. उन पे दबाव का काम नहीं चल रहा है. For how long, to which extent do you think you can continue to block Delhi with the threat of putting more pressure on the government? Pushpendra Singh ji.
देखिए, किसान बिल्कुल मरणासन है, मरने की स्थिति में है और करो या मरो की पोजीशन में पहुंच गया है। इसको मैं एक एग्जांपल से आपको बता देता हूं। ओईसीडी की एक स्टडी आई थी 2018 के अंदर, जो ये कहता है कि हमने ऐसी किसानों के विरुद्ध नीतियां अपनाई है सन 2000 से लेके 2017 के बीच में कि किसानों की जेब से हमने उल्टे लगभग 40 लाख करोड़ रुपया निकाल लिया है। ये बात मैं हवा में नहीं कह रहा। ये स्टडी ये इंडियन एक्सप्रेस में छपी थी, फाइनेंशियल एक्सप्रेस में भी छपी थी। ये इस तरीके से मैंने इसकी कटिंग भी काट के, ये हवाई की बात नहीं है, इसमें क्लियर कहा गया है कि द फार्मर्स have been implicitly taxed through restrictive marketing and trade policies that have inbuilt consumer bias of controlling agri prices. If one calculates, it amounts to about 45 trillion, यानी कि 45 lakh crore rupees between 2000 and 2017-18. No country in the world has taxed its farmers so heavily during this period. This is nothing short of plundering of farmers' incomes. ये स्टडी ओईसीडी 36 देशों की संस्था है और अलग अलग देशों की एग्रीकल्चर पॉलिसीज, अन्य पॉलिसीज को स्टडी करते हैं। ये हवा में नहीं है, इंटरनेट पे ये स्टडी मौजूद है। ये हमारा ये कहना है, आपने रिफॉर्म्स किए, बहुत अच्छी बात है, लेकिन प्राइवेट सेक्टर में भी आप एमएसपी की सिक्योरिटी किसान को दे दीजिए। इसमें क्या दिक्कत है? इस क्वेश्चन का जवाब सुदेश वर्मा जी पूरे प्रोग्राम में नहीं देंगे, मैं आपको गारंटी दे रहा हूं अभी।
Sudesh, would you like to answer, because you've been challenged that the government has no answer on this right now?
You see, what Pushpendra ji is saying is actually not the demand of the farmers. He's bringing another demand. What the farmers are saying today, you see, any of the channels you see, they are saying that withdraw the legislations, isn't it? Legislation has a backing of parliament, which means that the entire country is backing it, and you want to make laws on the street. Will this be acceptable in parliamentary democracy? Tell me that. The government has actually bent down and is ready to address most of the concerns. For that, if you have any issue, like what Pushpendra ji is saying, that issue can also be taken up with the government. You please come and talk on those issues. The government will try to address that. But that is not the point. If you say that no, repeal the law, unless you repeal, we are not going to, budge. This is not the correct stand, and this should never happen in democracy. This should create long-term problem for any government that comes to power.
नहीं, इसमें मैं इंटरवेंशन आपकी परमिशन से ये करना चाह रहा हूँ.
All right, let's go across. Let's go across to Pallavi Sharma, spokesperson of the Congress here as well as Pallavi. Time and again, the farmers have said that this is an apolitical protest. There are allegations coming in from senior union ministers saying that this is being backed by the opposition, the Congress, backed by leftists, backed by Naxal groups, backed by the Tukre Tukre gang here. At the end of the day, this logjam has led to a blockade of the national capital. What happens tomorrow with 2 more borders being blocked can be something that continues for weeks to come. In a total, Delhi can have 6 borders backed. How do you think the central government should deal with an impending crisis within Delhi as well, just with the blockage of these borders?
Well, Sahar, I think it's completely unfortunate that the government, the way it's trying to handle this mass protest is by delegitimizing it, is by giving it all kinds of brands, naming and shaming the farmers. I think it's completely shameful and unfortunate for the BJP government to be reacting in this manner. What the government needs to do right now is listen to these farmers, address their concerns, instead of delegitimizing and delegalizing this entire protest. I was listening to Mr. Sudesh Verma. What he has said, once again, please sir, do not interrupt, there's already an audio problem. What he was saying was that, the government is not going to gain by these laws, the farmers are. How strange is it that it's, the spokespersons of the BJP and how the government is acting on the ground are completely two contradictory situations. You say the farmers are going to gain, but you're not willing to listen to them. Their demands have been very clear. They're saying just give us legal written assurance of MSP and roll back these farm laws. Eventually, these farmers are the stakeholders of the laws that you're framing. So take them into confidence, sit with them. When you made these laws, when you bulldozed them through the parliament, you didn't consult the opposition, you didn't consult the stakeholders. No, not even a single farmers association was consulted. I challenge you, Mr. Verma, who's sitting on the panel right now, let him name one farmers association that was consulted before the government drafted these laws. Now, since the farmers are stakeholders, listen to them, take back these laws, take their concerns, take them into confidence and come up with new laws. I don't think even the farmers are saying that they don't want reforms. Of course they want reforms. They want written assurance.
Sudesh, I'm going to take your response on that in just a bit here. But because this is snowballed into an impending crisis even for Delhi, Sudesh, help us understand what is the government doing in a scenario where necessities, essentials are blocked for Delhiites because of the borders being sealed here in this agitation. We haven't heard from the central government here even on assurances on that front here, because tomorrow if 2 more borders are blocked, this is a crisis even for the people living in Delhi. What is the government doing on that front? Yes, Sudesh.
Sir, I do not agree with what Pallavi ji is saying, because you see, we have given lots and lots of arguments. We are again going round and round in circle. We have to march ahead of that. And coming to your question, you see, we are seriously concerned about this issue. And because they are farmers, government cannot act tough. And you understand this. But at the same time, you cannot allow a siege of the city. So there has to be, so that is why we are saying in democracy, it has to happen through talk.
You're branding.
No, nobody is calling. Please don't give your words into my mouth. We know what farmers are. We don't need your certificates. Please don't. Please don't. Sir, I don't agree with her. This is her statement. She can call farmers anti-national. They are the most nationalist forces in this country. Please don't defame farmers.
Coming back to you in just a bit here. Sudesh, please conclude your point.
We want to discuss. And only through discussion, democracy, things can be resolved, isn't it? So let us discuss and let's not get into this kind of agitation.
That's right. But Sudesh, these were issues which were not discussed before.
No, it was discussed. Who said it was not
discussed?
It's
a very simple question.
When you're speaking with, they are just trying to bring that issue again and again.
Stakeholders, when you're speaking with stakeholders right now, these were not the stakeholders who were addressed before the passing of these laws.
This reform has come after so many committees and commissions and reports of various committees. You see, even the Congress was a part of that. But
This
you
is an
can't now say
absolute
just
lie.
because you see farmers
He's
coming that
lying
no,
through
nobody
his
was
teeth.
consulted.
Absolute
Even
lie.
after
The entire
Even
country
after the
saw how
ordinance,
these bills
more
were
than 1
proposed in
lakh
the
50,000
parliament
webinars
amidst
were
the
conducted,
pandemic.
in which about
He did
91
not
lakh
even
people
consult the
Okay,
participated,
let's get in
opposition.
mostly
Pushpendra Singh
farmers.
here on
Understand
this.
the
Pushpendra
issue.
Singh,
The
in
entire
your
country
view,
is
the
having a
government
sense
continues to
responsibility
insist, and this is something that puts the
so
farmers
definitely
in
the
bad
farmers
light.
are agitating, and we are ready
Pushpendra
to
Singh,
address
let's
their
have.
concerns.
All right, let's hear it from the farmers' representative here, the president of the Kisan Shakti Sangh, Pushpendra Singh here. The government continues to insist that there was a dialogue process with stakeholders even before the farm laws were passed. Who were these stakeholders in your knowledge?
नहीं, देखिए ये बात बिल्कुल ठीक है कि पिछले 15-20 सालों से जो एग्रीकल्चर इकोनॉमिस्ट हैं, किसान नेता हैं, किसान संगठन है, सब चाहते थे, पक्ष विपक्ष की पार्टियां भी चाहती थी, जो भी सरकार में रही या उसके अपोजिट में रही। पिछले 20 साल का मतलब है कि दोनों सरकारें, कांग्रेस चाहे बीजेपी, यूपीए, एनडीए, कि भाई किस कृषि क्षेत्र में सुधार होने चाहिए। हम उससे मना नहीं कर रहे हैं। हमारा कहना यह है कि आपने जो काम किया है उसमें कुछ कमियां रह गई हैं, उनको यदि आप दूर कर देते तो शायद ये स्थिति नहीं आती। अब स्थिति क्या है कि आपने हमें गाड़ी दी, हम कह रहे हैं इंजन में खराबी, आप कह रहे हो टायर बहुत अच्छा है, हम कह रहे हैं इंजन में खराबी, आप कह रहे हो हेडलाइट बहुत अच्छी है, हम कह रहे हैं इंजन में खराबी, आप कह रहे हो सीट बहुत खराब है।
No, Pushpendra Singh, that doesn't answer my question. Were farmers' unions representatives who now want to have and are having a dialogue with the government, were they consulted before? Who were these stakeholders that the government says it has already spoken with earlier?
When they passed these ordinances on 5th June, no consultation took place. After that, several farmer bodies, farmer leaders put their view forward in front of the government. I myself wrote several articles in national newspapers, लेकिन इन्होंने उसके बावजूद भी इसको पास कर दिया। उसके बाद जब आंदोलन हुआ है, फिर इन्होंने बात की है।
सर, can I
खुद
intervene?
मैंने 1 मिनट, 6 अक्टूबर को मुझे खुद
Yes. Sudesh, this is a direct allegation over and above assurances and explanations that the central government continues to give here.
I'm very keen to answer.
These mysterious stakeholder discussions that happened. Yes.
No, it's not true. You know, sir, that farm producers organization, farmers produce organizations, are being formed all across this country because of these legislations that we intend to open the market, and farm producers organization are going to organize farmers. Farmers who are not organized, that is their problem. They become victims of the middlemen because they're not organized. And these APOs, we are going to have 10,000 APOs in this country. Already we have reached the figure of 5,000. And you see there is a possibility of more. These APOs, if they are being organized, it means that they know what is going to happen. And I told you about Setkari Sangathan of Maharashtra, which is a very, very strong farmer voice in this country. And they agreed, about National Farm Commission, headed by Swaminathan ji, that is Swaminathan report that came in 5 installments. And they recommended, and we have followed all the things. I told you about the state ministers committee that recommended these things. It's not that suddenly Modi ji slept and came out and dreamt one night and he said, no, we'll reform. No, it's not that. It has been built over a period of time. And Congress had its manifesto in 2019 spoken about this, isn't it? So it's not that it's happened suddenly. Please don't make all those assumptions. It has happened after accumulating it over a period of time.
Sir, can I please get 20 seconds? Can I please get 20 seconds?
Pallavi, the process of reforms is gradual. This hasn't happened overnight, but the allegation that farmers are not organized, just going by the way this protest has been organized with pan-India presence here, they do seem an organized lot.
Yes. Absolutely. Seeing the scale of the protests that are happening, who will be so naive as to say that the farmers are not organized other than the BJP spokesperson? But the point that I want to make here, Sahar, is this.
I will not be commenting on that.
There is, please, sir, I did not interrupt you, please. There is a farmers association that goes by the name of Bharatiya Kisan Sangh, which is the RSS's agricultural or the farmers association. It's affiliated with the RSS. Even that organization has gone on record to say that even we were not consulted before these bills were passed by the government. And now this government lies here sitting that they consulted stakeholders and so organization was consulted. Point number two, you know what Mr. Verma said ignorantly is exactly what has happened. Mr. Modi ji has just got up one night from his sleep and he has decided to roll down and bulldoze these bills in the parliament through his high-handedness. That is what he did with demonetization in this country. That is what he did with GST in this country. And that is what he tried to do with the farmers. But he has seen the power of the people of this country. The farmers are the voice of the people of this country, and they're not going to take it sitting back. We are also saying, even the farmers are saying, the Congress party is saying, yes, it is necessary, reforms were required. The Congress party had also proposed certain reforms, but you're supposed to discuss that.
Okay, Sudesh, as far as the government's information blitzkrieg is concerned here, in wanting to reach out on multiple platforms and inform people about the farm laws, Sudesh, how is that going to help on ground? When the farmers insisting they know enough about the farm laws, enough to the extent on how this is going to hit their livelihood, protests are intensifying on ground. They are increasingly, we get in multiple reports from our team on ground saying that it is gradually increasing in intensity, it is increasing in numbers here. How will an information blitzkrieg on tutoring people on the benefits of farm laws really help the cause of the farmers, the cause of the agitating farmers, who already know enough about these laws?
Sir, the rise of the BJP and the message of the Congress is primarily because of the trust Mr. Modi's commitment has in this country. You know, the poor people, the farmers, and every section of society trust the Prime Minister. He has no personal agenda. He thinks only about them, and it is in their interest that he has brought these legislations. Is 100% going to empower that. Is based upon the various successive reports that have evolved over a period of time, and we should experiment because you see, the farmers' position has not improved. You know, as Pushpendra ji was also saying, and we have to look into the reasons for that. And so far as convincing them is concerned, is democracy, and we have to talk to them. We have to keep talking. You see, nobody should take a rigid stand. People should try to see reason because mind is above heart, and they should understand that why is the government saying that. We cannot compromise their interest. It is in their interest, and they should also think about the poor farmers in various parts of the country. The numbers would come to something around 14 crore. That's right, but the big difference here,
Sudesh, I'm afraid we'll have to leave it at that. Appreciate all who've spoken to us here. Pallavi Sharma, Pushpendra Singh, Sudesh Verma, appreciate you being with us here this on the weekend edition of the Urban Debate here. But when the government says that they're ready to talk, all that talking, the big difference here in questions being asked and all that talking that should have been done before the farm laws were passed. And what we're looking at on ground for people living in Delhi, when you wake up tomorrow, take a look in detail at all the traffic advisories that will be released by the Delhi police and the Delhi traffic. Because there is going to be a massive blockade. This is as per already information issued by protesting farmers. It could be a difficult Sunday for Delhiites tomorrow. Keep on with that information. Thanks for being with us tonight.